Like say shalom, call William La Yahweh Shemel Shah. Let's go to the bottom of with GMS, Nana said Akim. And peace and bless you, brothers and sisters that listen, hopeful elect, call William La Yahweh Shemel Shah. And do this quick lesson today to the power of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Is more history than anything. Pretty much a follow up to the last sit down I did about not casting your pearls before swine. Mainly addressing certain things about those Pan-African believing Jakes, man, who swear up and down that we're African, man. Well, the men of the Lord is here to tell, pretty much that's what we've been professing and declaring this entire time, because that's was one of the major strongholds that were in our people's mind that was really pushed forth by this devil, Aisha, is that we're African, right? Which we're not, man. All right, first of all, the word Africa, that's a colonial term. The Brits gave it that name, man. They're the Hamites, according to the Bible. And we're not Hamites, man. We're Israelites, man. Just because we're the same color don't mean we're the same people, man. All right? And then even when you look at, because we always used to bring this out, but even when you look at the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, it tells you by definition. Those are biblical scholars who put that together, man. Well, let me get it. Let's get it. See if I can find this real quick through the spirit. Here we go. Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It says Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, which that's not entirely true, but it says not the Negroes though, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites, okay? But it says what? Not the Negroes, man. You see, so who are we then? If we not Hamites, who are we? See, we're the Israelites, man. Right, and everybody back then had melanin or color, man. Right? You devils, you turned everything upside down, as the scripture says. Like you made white, but you're not white, you're different shades of red. You made that the standard of beauty. And that's a goddamn lie, man. You are a leper's dog, according to the scriptures, man. Okay, you have something known as a leprosy. Okay? So here we go. That's the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It stated that the Negroes are not Hamites, man. And you just look at their spirit. Look at the things that they do. They put plates in their lip, right? They drink blood, put their face up cows' asses, circumcise their woman. They just dark and demonic, man. Well, that's what a lot of the things that the ancient Canaanites were doing in the land. That's what the Most High told us in Deuteronomy the 7th chapter, to have no dealings with them, man. Make no marriages with them, man. Because of what? They customs. See, that's why Moses and his brother, Moses' brother Aaron, and his sister Miriam was upset when he got the Ethiopian woman, not because of her skin color. That's what they used to teach in the past. All right. But because of what? Their customs, man. You see? Now, before I pull out any more scriptures, let me pull out another article, which go on and on about this, man. I put out all kind of artifacts and information. This is an article by Henry Kissinger, who was the state secretary, who was also one of the main orchestrators of this NWO. This is Klaus Schwab's teacher right here. Okay. And he was a Secretary of State underneath Richard Nixon. And he's talking about the Biafra War that was going on in the 1960s, right, with the Igbo. Now, this is what he said about the Igbo. I'm just going to go straight to the point. What did the enemy say about the Igbo, man? He said, let me jump straight to the point. Colonial Oguku, British-trained erstwhile playboy, presides over the popular supported military morale of a people convinced that defeat means extinction. This is what he said, the enemy. He said the Ibos are the wandering Jews of West Africa, gifted, aggressive, westernized, at best envied and resented, but mostly despised by the mass of their neighbors in the Federation. You see? So the Igbo, he said, are what? Are the wandering Jews of West Africa. This is in the 1960s, man. Okay. 1969, he wrote this. Henry Kissinger, man. And he wrote this to Richard Nixon. He said the what? The Ibos are the wandering Jews of West Africa. So the enemy knows who you are, man, which Igbo means Hebrew. They themselves will tell you that they Hebrew, man. The ones that's in the know. Obviously, that got colonized and they started falling into Christianity. All right, a lot of people that's on the western coast of Africa, those are the two dominant religions, was either the white man's Christianity or being an Arab, Islam, man. Okay? Like when you go into Mansa Musa's people, the Jews of Mali. You see, you go into Fort Judah or Benin. Let me get another one. Let's get another article here before I get to the scriptures, man. So we not no goddamn African, man. Get out of here with that shit, man. That's a damn lie, man. Okay, here we go. Let me read this article right here. A historical count. This is these are different articles, but I remember this book from Olaudah Equiano. All right, so Jake from West Africa. But let me read a little backstory on this book. It said an historical account from the 1700s describes a connection between West Africans and the Israelites. This an account is from an African man from the Ibo tribe of Nigeria named Olaudah Equiano. He was kidnapped from Nigeria and was enslaved in Barbados and Virginia. He was somehow able to purchase his freedom and went on to become a writer and abolitionist. In his autobiography, he not only documented the horrors of slavery, but he also wrote about the culture back home during the slave trade. He detailed how his tribe practiced the same custom of the Jews in the Hebrew Bible called the Torah, man. Hold on now. So he said that. What did he say? This is the exact quote. We practiced circumcision like the Jews and made offerings and feasts of that occasion in the same manner as they did. Such is the imperfect sketch my memory has furnished me with of the manners and customs of a people among whom I first drew my breath. And hey, I cannot forbear suggesting has long stroked me forcible naming strong analogy, which even by his sketch, no, man, let me go up. He says, perfect as it is, appearing to prevail in the manners and the customs of my countrymen and those of the Jews, before they reached the land of promise, and particularly the patriarchs, while they were yet in that pastoral state, which is described in Genesis. What else did he say? He said, like the Israelites in a primitive state, our government was conducted by our chiefs or judges, our wise men and elders, and the head of our family with us enjoyed a similar authority over his household, that which is ascribed to Abraham and the other patriarch, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The law of retaliation obtained almost universally with us as with them, and even their religion appeared to have shut upon us as a ray of its glory. Though broken and spent in this passage, or eclipsed by the cloud, with time, tradition, and ignorance might envelop it. For we had our circumcision, all right, a rule I believe peculiar to that people. We had also sacrifices and burnt offerings, our washings and purifications. That's in the law as well. Numbers the 8th chapter, man. Okay, when you go into the Levitical priesthood, you even go into the Ashanti. All right, they have the ephod and the 12 stones on it, man. Which that's a lot of you Levites, you go back to Ashanti as well. All right, it says, and on the same occasions as they had. So he's drawing the similarities between the Jews and his people, the Igbo. And I just read Henry Kissinger's quote where he said that what? The Ibos are what? The wandering Jews of West Africa. And how they're gifted and aggressive, man. And they're despised by their neighbors. All right. All right. And then, you know, there's other books we can pull like Babylon, the Timbuktu. I forgot it was in Mali. I forgot it was King. I think it's Askia. It was how you call it, man? I think it was Leon Africanus, who was a scholar, historian that came from Spain, and he had travels in the Sahara. And he said it in his book that he wrote in 1526. If I can remember, this is in times past. He said that the Mali king, who was Muslim, made it illegal for you to practice your Hebrew customs. Okay, that's what they always say. A lot of the slaves were following Islam over the cases, because why? It was illegal at that time, man. You only had two options: either to become Muslim or to follow Aisha's Christianity, which he beat into us, man. Okay. And also, oh, how could I forget? You had Josephus. Let me see if I can pull that quote with Josephus, man. Let me jump straight to it, man. Straight to it. We all know who Josephus is, Flavius Josephus. He's the one who detailed the Roman, what they call the Roman Jewish Wars in 70 AD. Okay, the enemy got him to detail everything that was going on. He was pretty much considered a Tom, but he was also a historian as well, right? He was well learned, right? And I believe he was a Levite. He said what in his book, which many of us have, it says, this is what he said. He said, in Roman history, Flavius Josephus stated over thousands of years ago that the Israelites migrated into Africa. He writes, General Vespasian and his son Caesar Titus fought against the Jews. Millions of Jews fled into Africa, among other places, fleeing from the Roman persecution and starvation during the siege, man. Okay, so there you go, man. And we just read about the Ibos, the Ashanti, the Jews of Mali. You go into the Liemba, all right, the Jews in South Africa. There's many other artists we could pull, man. But the bottom line is, we are not no goddamn African, man. And one of the main doctrines Aisha used to try to prove we're African was something known as the curse of Ham. All right. Right, which they tried to say that's the reason why the Atlantic slave trade was justified. Right, and we were supposed to be perpetual slaves because of that curse that Noah put on his son Ham, and it fell on his youngest son Canaan. All right, which that's completely false, and we're gonna go through what is the curse of Ham. Okay, because pretty much we all know the story. Ham saw his father's nakedness and he mocked it, so Noah cursed him. And it fell on his son Canaan. Let me get that Genesis, the 9th chapter. And we're going to go through what this curse is, man. Because this is nonsense, man. Let's get it. Genesis chapter 9. This is what these devils try to use in times past. This is Edomite supremacy. Genesis 22, chapter 9, verse 20. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. And he drank of wine, and was drunken, and was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon him. Both their shoulders went backwards, so they didn't look upon their father's nakedness, man. And covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah woke from his wine, and knew what his youngest son had done unto him, because more likely the Most High showed him in a dream. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. Okay, so it fell upon who? The curse fell upon Canaan. And these were these devils. And he said what? And he said, Blessed be the Lord power of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. So this is what these devils tried to use and say that we are the Canaanites, because, and that's the reason why we came into slavery, is because of this curse right here. You jackasses, man. This has nothing to do with that. First of all, the most enslaved nation ever were the Israelites, man. All right. Had you devils actually read the scriptures, you would know that, man. All nations had their way with us, man. I'm going to get them first Maccabees. But this is when the curse of Canaan was fulfilled. I'm going to get it in the book of Judges. So just cut through this nonsense, man. All right, let's get it. Judges chapter 1, I'm going to jump straight to the point. This is when we were tackling the land of Canaan. This is why we were justified in taking the land of Canaan. Number one, Canaan extended his borders. Number one. And two, the land belonged to us anyway. All right, so let's read. Judges chapter 1, right? We know that the Canaanites are occupying this land. Judges chapter 1 verse 1, and then I would jump to 28. And now after the death of Joshua, it came to pass that the children of Israel asked the Lord, saying, who shall go up to fight for us against the Canaanites, first to fight against them? Okay. And Yahweh Shemashah said, Judah shall go up, and behold, I have delivered the land into his hand. The land was delivered into our hand, man. Okay. Now let's jump. I'm going to just jump straight to the point. This one is fulfilled. Judges 128, starting from Joshua, when we started tackling the land. Starting from Moses first, and then Joshua got us into the land. All right. Let's get Judges 128. And it came to pass when Israel was strong that he put the Canaanites to tribute. Okay. Made them what? Slaves, man. Okay. Because why? We didn't and did not utterly drive them out. We didn't utterly drive them out, but we made them what? Slaves, servants. Or just like when you read about the Gibeonites during the time of Joshua, those Canaanites, man, they became our bondmen as well. They made peace with us, and they became slaves. Matter of fact, let me read a little of that. Let me see. Joshua, I think it's Joshua 9. Let's see if we could see it. Joshua chapter 9. Let me jump to the point. I think it's 13. Gotta go through the history again. There we go. Joshua 9:3. And when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done unto Jericho to Ai, they worked willily and went and made as if they had been ambassadors, and took old slacks upon their asses and wine bottles, and rent and rounded up. All right. Let me verse 6. And they went to Joshua unto the camp in Gilead, and said unto him and to the men of Israel, we come from a far country. Now therefore make a league with us. Okay. Now let's jump straight to the point. 15. And Joshua made peace with them, and made a league with them, to let them live. And the princes of the congregation swear unto them. And it came to pass at the end of the 3 days, after they had made a league with them, that they heard that they were their neighbors, and they dwelt among them. And the children of Israel journeyed and came unto their cities unto the 3rd day. Now their cities were Gibeon, these are Canaanites, and Kipparah, Bethroth, and Kirjath-jearim. And the children of Israel smote them not, because the princes of the congregation had sworn unto them by Yahweh Shemashah, power of Israel, and all the congregation murmured against the princes. But all the princes said unto all the congregation, we have sworn unto them by Yahweh Shemashah, power of Israel. Now therefore we may not touch them. This will we do to them. We will even let them live, lest wrath be upon us, because of the oath which we swear unto them. All right. Verse 22. And Joshua called for them, and spake unto them, saying, wherefore have ye beguiled us, saying, we are far from you, and we dwelt among us? Now therefore ye are cursed, and none of you shall be freed from being bondmen. This is the curse, man. Okay, this is what it's talking about, man. All right. Curse from being bondmen and hewers of wood and drawers of water for the house of my power, man. You see, that's what the curse of Canaan was, man. So the ones we didn't drive out, we made them tribute. We made them bondmen and bondwomen, servants, man. That's when that was fulfilled. I ain't talking about us going into captivity. All right, because the Israelites were the most enslaved nation. And we get that in the book of Maccabees. So call Elohim La Yahweh Shem Shah. We are not no goddamn African, man. We're the chosen people. All right. Let me get that. First Maccabees 2:10. The scripture says this. It says, what nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten her spoils? What nation, man? All her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman, she has become a bond slave. The Israelites were the most enslaved nation. Okay, we had the Egyptians, and then read the book of Judges. Okay, it's all kind of nations, man. And the Most had to keep raising up different saviors. Okay. The Midianites, the Moabites, they all had their way with us, man. And the major empires were the Egyptians. We know the Assyrians. We know the Babylonians. We know the Persians and the Medes. We know the Greeks. We know the Romans. Okay. Then we went down into Africa, different parts of the world. We fell during the time of the Byzantine Empire. That was the revival of the beast. And even in Africa, okay, them Hamites, And those Ishmaelites came together and sold us to Aishah. That's Joel, the 3rd chapter, where we came on this side of the world as it was written, man. Okay, so that has nothing to do with no curse of Ham. Okay, that fell upon Canaan when we tackled the land. Okay, and we all know, because we all pull those scriptures out, the Israelites, it was nothing to do with skin color, man. That's something that Aishah created, because while we passed for an Egyptian, Moses passed for an Egyptian, extremely dark skin. Paul passed for an Egyptian. We get to Acts 21. Let's get to Acts 21, 36. There you go, Acts 21, 36. And when he came up upon the stairs, this is Apostle Paul, when he's having that, when he went back into the land of Jerusalem, and they accused him of bringing heathens into the temple. It got hectic. It says, for the multitude of people followed after crying away with him. And Paul was led into the castle. He said unto the chief captain, may I speak unto thee? Who said, canst thou speak Greek? And art thou an Egyptian, which before these days made an uproar and led us out into the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers? But Paul said, I am a man which am a Jew of Tarshish, a city in Cilicia, which is modern day Turkey. So the soldier was like, hold on, you can speak Greek. Aren't you an Egyptian? Because why? We look like them, man. Okay. But the Most High, Exodus 11:7, he made a difference. Let's get Exodus 11:7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that he may know how that Yahweh Shemel Shah put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel, man. Why? Because we're his people, man. Okay, and this whole thing on skin color didn't become a big deal until that Renaissance period, and mainly in the 1600s, where they started labeling everything white and black, man. Because everybody in times past were people of melanin or color, man. You're the beast, man. You're strange, man, Aisha, man. And like we say, you changed the standard of beauty. All right? But let me get to Psalms 105th chapter, and I close this up. You know, I just wanted to do a couple of precepts on this and bring out mainly history in this lesson, going into, we ain't no goddamn Africans, man. Okay, we dwelt amongst the Africans, man. We had communities in Africa, North, East, and West Africa, and South Africa when you go into the Liemba. All right? But there was always separation. Our customs is different. All right? We go back to a completely different line. All right? You Jakes, you still caught up on skin color, man. Okay? The freaking, the Aborigines of Australia are extremely dark, and they got kinky hair, man. Are they Israelites? Are we all the same people? No. Okay? Has nothing to do with skin color, man. It's to do with nationality, man. What line do you go back to? Anyway, let's read this. Psalms 105, and I'll probably close it out with this. Psalms 105, verse 23. And Israel came into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham. All right, we had our neighborhood in Egypt, and it was Goshen. And he increased his people greatly and made them stronger than their enemies. He turned their heart to hate his people, to deal subtly with his servants. We know that. And he sent Moses' servant and Aaron, whom he had chosen. They showed his signs among them and wonders in the land of Ham. Okay, what he did, the 10 plagues, man. Right? They sent darkness and made it dark, and they rebelled not against his word. And he turned their waters into blood and slew their fish. Okay? And it goes to the whole list of plagues. Let me jump on down. He said, verse 36, he smote all their firstborn in their land, the chief of all their strength. He brought them forth also with silver and gold, and there was not one feeble person among their tribes. Egypt was glad when they departed, for the fear of them fell upon them, and calling Yahweh Shemel Shah. And that fear is about to fall upon you Edomites, man, and all you nations, man. That's because you are the modern day Pharaoh, man. And your time is up. All right. So that must say, Kol Elohim La Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua. Shalom.